Hey, thanks for stopping by. I'm Joe Cortez, joined by James Burns of FrontRowPreps.com, powered by Chicken Ranch Casino. Time now for our small school rankings, brought to you by Valley Orthopedic, the bone and joint specialists. Burnsy, we've got movement here. For years, when we were newspaper guys, we talked about the mother lode being a mother. I don't see a mother lode league team on this list.
Joe, I mean, your eyes don't deceive you. There isn't one.
There's none to be found. Let's start at number 10, Waterford. Moves into the poll, and right away we've got a 9 versus 10 matchup against Big Valley Christian.
Yeah, welcome to the top 10, Waterford. You can thank the guys up the hill at Sonora. Sonora fell out of our top 10. When we talked about no mother lode league teams, we were referring to Sonora, our season.
Number 1.
To start the season.
Number
1 to start the season. They've fallen steadily as the weeks have gone on. They've made room for Waterford, coming off a big win against Turlock Christian. Actually, I should say, I don't know if it's a big win. They rested a lot of guys. They played a lot of 2s and 3s in that, preparing for this week's game against Big Valley Christian.
Number 9, Big Valley. They're taking on Waterford this week. Number 8, Houston. Now, Houston is a TVL team. I see a lot of TVL teams here. We'll get to the rest of those in a minute. Number 8, Houston takes on Somerville.
Houston, very impressive last week. Without their star running back, Carlos Areola, hyperextended knee. They thought he might be able to go, then they scratched him a couple days before the game. In that game over Argonne, the defense stepped up, 21-3.
Gotta have it. Number 7, Denair, the little team that could. They're taking on Stone Ridge Christian out of Merced this week.
Hey, I've been getting a lot of phone calls about Denair. Are they for real? Are they for real? Are they for real? You know, hey, they've played, I think they've played inferior opponents through the first few weeks. They've done what they needed to do, racked up some big wins and got some guys some confidence, got some reps underneath their belt. Now the schedule starts to stiffen. They got Stone Ridge Christian this week, Southern League play right around the corner. We'll find out who's who.
Aaron Souza and his Oristimba Warriors.
Yeah,
number 6.
They fall 3 spots after that tough loss to Golden Sierra. It was a shootout. In that game, Oristimba gives up a lead, a 5-point lead in the final minutes. I think Golden Sierra scores with under a minute play to steal that one at Paleto Field. But you can trace that loss back to 3 turnovers, including 2 on back-to-back possessions in the first half. Aaron Souza says, hey, it's not the end of the world. It's just a loss. But listen, bud, you haven't lost in 21 games.
Yeah.
You haven't lost since the 2016 opener. This is a big deal, and it's going to be a huge test of their character, how they bounce back with, again, Southern League play right around the corner.
They've got to buy this week. And isn't it almost dinner still?
And lunch.
Yeah, and lunch. Number 5, Ripon Christian, also on a bye.
Yeah, probably the most impressive for me, the impressive result last week. I went into that Somerville game saying, listen, this is going to be a tell-all type game. If RC goes up the hill and they put away Somerville convincingly, that should put the rest of the Southern League on notice. And all they did was go up and come home with a 30-3 victory. That's a tough place to play. I don't care if Somerville is down. I don't care if they've lost a lot in graduation. You have to go up the hill to their place and play. To get a 30-3 victory tells me that RC has a lot of weapons. Defensively, they're stout and they're motivated.
Somerville, always a physical program, as is all those mother lode teams. Okay, number 4. Now, you're going to sense a theme here. Modesto Christian of the Trans Valley League.
Yeah, I think actually maybe outside of the top spot, 2 through 4 right now, they're sort of, you can interchange them. Before is Modesto Christian off to a 3-0 start. If you rewind the tape a full year back, they were 0-3 and wondering what the heck is going on.
Did you read my story this morning?
I did.
Yeah.
That a boy. FrontRowPreps.com. And they're 3-0, and everything seems to be clicking. They're healthy. Hayden Saucer is steering that offense. He's pulling the right strings in it, and defensively they're shutting teams down. 3-0, number 4 for a reason.
They were 0-3 last year. Had Mike Parsons thinking about retirement. This year he's 3-0, and he says that he realizes it's not about the X and O's. It's about the Jimmys and Joes. Hey, that's
us.
We should copyright that. Number 3, Ripon, the Indians, looking good.
Very good. I mean, defensively, Chris Mussman is kind of kicking himself this week because he says it's his mistake that allowed Central Valley to score in the final minutes of that game, a 42-7 victory over Central Valley.
Otherwise,
had they shut them out, it would have been 12 full quarters without allowing a point. And that's impressive for a team that graduated a lot of talent, especially in the middle of their defense. They are fast and athletic, and for a small school team, Chris Mussman says, hey, I've never seen this much athleticism. So that should scare some teams.
Number 2, Escalon, doing just fine without old what's his name, Mark Lorero.
Hey, and you know what? To this point, I think Andrew Beam has sort of controlled the first 3 weeks perfectly.
Yes.
You know, he's kind of played his chips. He hasn't shown too much. He's purposely held some back so that he doesn't have he's not giving away too much film to his opponent, and he really hasn't had to. I mean, you've got Luke Anderson stepping up. We haven't seen a whole lot of Caden Christensen, one of our top players who we thought was going to be, you know, out of this world, and he still very well could be. But right now, Luke Anderson, he's kind of dominating the show. And Nash Satnett, the linebacker.
Say that again.
Nash Satnett. TVL linebacker of the year. He's been the best player through the first 3 weeks.
And number 1, our 4th consecutive TVL team in this upper echelon of our poll, Hillmar, and they take on former number 1 Sonora.
But all Hillmar has done is just cement itself at the top of those rankings. Really, you know, I think they are the clear-cut number 1 in this area. Isaac Sharp, they're putting away teams early, as I talked about last week.
They're putting away
We talked
teams.
about that last week. You know, one of the most remarkable stats to me is that Isaac Sharp, the Merced Sun Star Player of the Year, a 1,300-yard back last year, one of the heroes in their section title run. He's carried the ball 14 times
through 3 games.
How many touchdowns do you think he has?
That's a good question. But thanks for putting me on the spot. I'll say 6.
7.
That's a 50% rate there. Even I can do that.
Every other time he touches the ball, he's in the end zone.
zone.
And he's rested and he's healthy. And as soon as he gets to that gauntlet of the TVL schedule, watch out.
Hey, let me ask you a weird question.
Yeah.
If we put Hillmar in our large school rankings, where do you think they'd sit?
Large school rankings. I would put them probably 5 or 6.
That's what I was going to say.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, 7. I would have put him after 6.
I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think CC, Turlock, Merced, Pittman, Downey are sort of
Upper
our
echelon,
locks at top 5. Then I would say, okay, you know, Hillmar and Oakdale would be a great game.
It would be a fun game
Hillmar
this
and
year.
Oakdale would
This
be
year.
a great game.
This year.
Yes.
Because usually that's
And that's
an
right
Oakdale
in that 6 or 7 range.
Yeah. Anyway, a little fun there with our large and small school rankings. So that's it for this week's small school rankings, brought to you by Valley Orthopedic, the bone and joint specialist for James Burns. I'm Joe Cortez of FrontRowPreps.com, brought to you by Chicken Ranch Casino. Be sure to stop by and visit our website for all our content, stories, videos, pictures, interviews, rankings, and a whole lot more. We will see you next time.